Hi, welcome to my guitar tutorial. I'm calling this 4-note minor pentatonic patterns for improvising. So I'll start off just talking a little bit about the resource materials that I'm going to provide for you in the description below the video. So the iReal Pro format file will feature the 84 combinations, 4 bars per mode, the number 4 tracks that'll be in my next tutorial. So for the opening demonstration and for some of my demonstrations later in the video, I'm using just E major 9 to E major 7, and that's part of the 84 combination. So that's what I use to start with. I'll also include the PDF of the chord chart, so you can just follow along with that and do whatever you want. Okay, so then some of the other materials will be a PDF of the A minor pentatonic 4-note shape. So I'm going to kind of do what I did in some of my other videos. I'm going to do everything in either C major pentatonic or A minor pentatonic, and then you'll just have to move them to different places. And then I'll also have a document 4-note minor pentatonic patterns for improvising, where I'll actually talk about the note sequences that I'm doing. Okay, so let's see. So I'll just talk a little bit of background about this idea. So I think when I first started thinking about this in earnest was with one of my old guitar students, a guy named I've talked about before, J.J. Thomchick, Berkeley grad. He did really well in school, and he has a YouTube channel, Patreon. He's an excellent jazz guitar player. But he and I had talked about these 4-note patterns, these 4-note pentatonics, moving them around. Right. So that was kind of how that thing started. So I have a PDF of that, which I'll get to a little bit later. Then this idea of the particular sequence that I use, that comes from a video, which I'll link the video below. The video was called 10 Jazz Improvisation Patterns for a Great Sounding Solo. And it was a YouTube video of this trumpet player that I saw quite a while ago, months ago. And I wrote down the patterns, and I've practiced them off and on. But the very first 2 patterns that he talks about is, the first one is 1 2 3 5 2 1. That's what I used in my opening. And then then the second pattern was 3 2 1 6 1 2 3. And I realized, those are pentatonic. So I worked with them a little bit, and I thought, this would make an interesting video. So take the first 2 patterns of this trumpet tutorial talking about jazz, and just apply it to the guitar. So that's kind of the method to my madness here. Okay, so I think what I'll do to start with is I'll kind of do what I did in my previous video. I'm going to do all the different 4-note patterns. So this will be on the sheet that's called 4-note minor pentatonic. It's called A minor pentatonic 4-note shapes. Okay. So I'll just kind of go. And then I'll talk a little bit about a way that you can kind of think about this and organize these. So if I started here, I'll do the same format of note names ascending but not descending. So the very first one on the sheet, E, G, A, C, I'm calling that minor 7 because it's a minor 7th chord, okay? Then the next one is a rectangular shape, G, A, C, D. Okay, then this one I'm calling minor, A, C, D, E, because it's kind of based around an A minor chord, A minor triad. And the next one I'm calling major, C, D, E, G, kind of based around kind of a C chord. So you'll always see when you go up and down on a string group, you're always going to have these patterns interlocking. Okay, so then on the next one is going to be this rectangular shape, again, a D, E, G, A. So then what happens, you're back to basically, like, this is kind of like the blues box, E, G, A, C. So then on either side of that pattern is these rectangular shapes, G, A, C, D, and then you're back to kind of the beginning of your blues box, A, C, D, E. So that's kind of the one thing that you can take from here. So you have your kind of blues box here, and then on either side you have these rectangular shapes. And then below those you have this major shape, C, D, E, G, and then minor shape. All right, so then you have these 5 patterns that interlock all over the fretboard. Okay, so the next set of diagrams starting from fifth string, A C D E. Okay, so that's minor. Okay, then followed by the major C D E G. Okay, then followed by the rectangular shape D E G A, and then followed by that blues box, the minor seventh shape E G A C. That's basically an A minor seventh chord, and it's also the top part of the blues box. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, then you have your rectangular shape G A C D, and then you have your minor A C D E, and then major C D E G, and then back to your blues box, which I don't have on the diagram there. All right, so okay, so let me go to to the next part. D E G A, that's the rectangular. And then the E G A C, G A C D. So that there's your blues box there. Then minor A C D E, major C D E G, D E G A. There's your blues box E G A C, and then your rectangular shape G A. So you always have this blues or minor seventh chord, and then the minors on either side, and then you have the major shape and the minor shape, and that's true. Now, these next two strings, these are kind of tricky to learn. You just have to kind of almost put them in a category of themselves. So this is kind of the rectangular shape G A C D. Because of the tuning of the G to B strings, the pattern is skewed. The next one is going to be the minor A C D E. Okay, it has the minor, and then this is going to be a major C D E G, and it's also part of the blues box. And then you're going to have your rectangular shape again, D E G A, and then here's your minor seventh, E G A C. And one of the things I talk about in my videos is a really good way to learn the guitar is to learn equivalency. So this piece right here, E G A C, is exactly the same as this, E G A C. Okay. Okay, so then that's the blues box. Then you have this rectangular shape, G A C D, and then you're back to the minor again. C D A C D E, and then you're back to your blues box, which I'm calling the major shape. Okay, and last but not least will be the top two strings. So it starts off with this major shape, C D E G. Okay, then you have your rectangle, D E G A, minor seventh chord, E G A C. The rectangle, G A C D. So you always had the rectangle. Okay, then after the next rectangle, then you have the two kind of interlocking the minor shape, A, C, D, E, interlocking with the major shape, C, D, E, G, and then you're back to your rectangle, D, E, G, A, and then you're back to your blues box. Okay, all right. So that's the basic format of that. The A minor, what I'm calling the A minor pentatonic 4-note shapes. So I have some different notes on there. So one of the notes is I talk about how the minor seventh shape is surrounded by that, and then I also talk about, this is a little bit harder to see how they circle across. So this takes a little bit more study. So like let's say if you looked at the blues box, so you would have minor, then the rectangle, the major, and then the minor seventh, and then it keeps on circling around those five. So I don't want to get into that right now, but that takes a little bit more study. I think it's a little bit more interesting, a little bit easier to see how they interact and they lock up. Interlock together up and down on the two string groups. Okay, so then see, that was that. Okay, so now as far as the patterns themselves, that's going to be the next page, the 4-note minor pentatonic patterns. So you can see I have that C major pentatonic, A minor pentatonic, and then I have the very first pattern, which that saxophone trumpet player talked about, C, D, E, G, D, C. So that's where it all started, and then I went ahead and did the transpositions. So so you have the five there. So I'll do those See, I'll do those one time. Let me think how I want to do this. I'll do it two different ways. So I'll do it on this string group. So C, and I'll do it here. C, D, E, G, D, C, and then D, E, G, A, E, D, E, G, A, C, G, E, G, A, C, D, A, G, and then A, C, D, E, C, A. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 5, 1 pattern. Okay. So then as I was working with this, I thought, well, it would be interesting maybe to do some variation. So I've kind of experimenting with different variations. So the one would be, let's say you took, so then you can, so rather than landing there, up to there, or maybe up to a different scale tone. Like let's say I was doing like A minor 7 to B minor 7. Let's say I want to go up to that chord, or up to whatever kind of scale tone you want it to go up to. Or let's say you want to go up to that note. So that's what I mean by slide up to another note, or slide up to the chord tone. Okay, now let me just talk a little bit about this next pattern, 3 2 1 6 1 2 3. So I'll go ahead. How about I'll start up here for that? So if you go down E D C A, E D C A, C D E. That's a 7-note pattern. Okay, so then let me go. Let me see how I want to do this. Let's go down here. So G, E, D, C, D, E, G. Next one, A, G, E, D, E, G, A. And then you're at your blues box. C, A, G, A, E, G, A, C. And then here, D, C, A, G. Okay, and then one of the things that I'm a big fan of is since the third and second string have different tuning and you have a different shape under your finger, I think it's often helpful to just move these across to the middle string. So let's say you have, so it's the same. So I'm just taking that same pattern and moving it to the inner two strings because the tuning is the same. All right, so that's just a brief overview of those patterns. Obviously, it would take a little bit of work to get these. This is just something I've been looking at over the past couple of days. So I don't have everything totally under my fingers, but I just spent a couple of days getting some of these materials together for you. All right, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the Drumgenius, and I'm just going to do like a little swing thing. So there's not going to be any chords. So this is... Okay, this is just Freddie the Freeloader, B minor beats, 132 beats per minute. So what I thought would be interesting is kind of do like kind of a Dorian kind of vamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine both of the patterns. And so, for example, like let's say I did that pattern. Then I'm going to do the same 4 notes, but I'll do the second, and then kind of do like almost like a call and response. So and then kind of go back and forth. So I'm just going to kind of improvise some of these things and just kind of see what happens. Yeah, I think I'll start off with the blues box, and then I might go off from there. So I'll do like a little chord vamp, and then I'll just do, and just kind of go back and forth. So this is just one thing you can do with this. Take a 1 2 3 5 2 1 pattern, and then follow it by the 3 1 6 1 2 3 pattern. And then if you thought about it, you just have to use your imagination. You could do so. And then you can go. I mean, that would be valid also. Let's just see what happens here. you get the idea there. So I don't have a lot of things worked out with that, but I just wanted to show just that one concept, using the 4-note patterns and then just kind of going back and forth between those. Okay, so I think the next thing I'll do is I'll kind of work with these patterns. I think for this one, I'm going to do the 3-2-1 pattern. I'm going to do it up and down on one string, mostly, and I'll see what I'll do. So this is kind of a fast tempo. Yeah, this is Tony Williams' La Fiesta. So I'm going to be doing this about metronome 222. So just kind of playing kind of a fusion-y kind of sound. I'm going to put the small stone phase shifter on. Kind of, it'll sound a little bit like, if you're familiar with Billy Cobham, oh my God, I'm blanking on that guy's name, Stratus, Tommy Bolin. Yeah, so I'm kind of going for like the kind of fusion Tommy Bolin kind of sound. So I'm just going to play just these, the 3-2-1-6-2, and then just kind of improvise a little bit around it, mostly on a couple strings. Like I said, I don't have everything totally under my fingers, but I'll just try to make something interesting, along with this kind of fusion-y. Oh, and this is also in 3, so that kind of gives it a little different sound. Okay, let's hear what that's going to sound like. Okay, so you get the idea of that. So it's an interesting sound, with the small stone, and moving up and down the fretboard. So just a couple ideas there. Okay, so that was all I have planned for today. The 1-2-3-5-2-1 pattern, and then the 3-2-1-6-1-2-3 pattern. You can check out the 10 jazz improvisation patterns. There's some other interesting ones there. And as a guitar player, it's interesting for me to look at piano players, saxophone players, trumpet players, and you can always learn something from the different instrumentalists, what they sound a little bit differently than it does on the guitar. So I think I covered everything I wanted to do. So for my ending improvisations today, I'm going to do one of my old favorites. This is a La Fiesta, and I'm going to use this same track that I just used. I should have kept that up. And I guess I'll use the swing, the 3/4. I don't know if I'll necessarily use some of these patterns. I'll just see what happens. I took the small stone off. I might add a little bit of overdrive at some point with the expandora. So a little La Fiesta. I might get into some of these patterns maybe. Once again, with these ending improvisations, I don't always have everything planned out. So thanks for listening and watching, and enjoy learning and using these different patterns in your improvising.